I was just excited that I knew I had that financial backing. It was one less thing I had to worry about while I was in school. I've been at BC for about 2 years now. I'm currently in the radiologic technology program. I mean, this is like a career that I think I want to have for the rest of my life. I mean, I definitely don't come from wealth in the slightest, or just a supportive background as far as family. I mean, I was kind of going down a path in high school that was not going to lead me to anywhere productive or healthy. Like, quite frankly, I was almost at the point of just not showing up and dropping out. And eventually I kind of just turned things around. It wasn't easy and it took a lot of time, whether it was changing friends to just changing overall lifestyle and how I wanted to live, and then just striving for more than I was given rather than settling and being complacent. And of course, I didn't do it alone. I had a lot of support from teachers to friends to just families who have taken me in, things like that. Like I said, I mean, I don't come from much, so it's kind of surreal getting here to this point. I mean, being 20 years old and in a spot where I'm pretty much ready to be in a career is wild, and I would not have been able to get here without that support, especially in the beginning. Thank you. I honestly would not have been able to get here without your support, and I hope to use that support well in the future to push me and continue to push towards my goals. I'll look back and just be thankful that I pushed through all the hardship and sleepless nights here at BC for this program. I think it'll be definitely worth it, and to be finally have some stability in my life as far as a career goes and financially. I'm ready for that.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Bellevue College Foundation's inaugural Rise and Shine breakfast. My name is... Yeah, this is a big deal, right? We've been gone for 2 years, so thanks for that. Oh, the masks. So in case anybody's wondering, first of all, thank you for wearing your masks as you've entered the building. Of course, if you're eating or drinking, you're welcome to take them off, so appreciate that. So my name is Consuelo Greer. Wait a second. Hold on, wrong script. Sorry. Just kidding. Dr. Greer is actually under the weather, so let me start again. I'm Dennis Curran. I'm the Vice President of Administrative Services, and I'm really thrilled to be joining you today. I'd like to start by pausing to acknowledge that Bellevue College resides on the traditional land of the Coast Salish peoples. That includes, but is not limited to, Snoqualmie, Suquamish, Muckleshoot, and Tulalip peoples past and present. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional land of the first people of Seattle, the Duwamish people past and present, and honor with gratitude the land itself and the Duwamish tribe. We remember their connection to the region and recognize their suffering due to systemic oppression. We commit to using our education and agency to acknowledge injustice and work to make systemic change in support of Indigenous rights, including federal recognition of the Duwamish. Thank you. So here we are at our first official event in the new ballroom. Hopefully you all got a chance to take a look at the great view. But it's great to have everyone back together. And as I look around the room right now, I'm eager to realize what we can do together. And I can already see that this work has started. We have many individuals that have already made their gift in support of our BC students. Thank you. You too have the opportunity to join them as lead donors now. Simply ask your table captain for a pledge form or follow the instructions on your table to use the QR code to make your donation. At this time, I'm going to take a moment to pass the mic over to my friend and colleague, Rebecca Chago.
Dennis is slightly taller than I am. Perfect. Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am Rebecca Chago. I'm the Interim Vice President of Institutional Advancement and the Executive Director of the Bellevue College Foundation. And it is so amazing to look out there and see all of us together in support of students. And someone used the joke earlier, oh my gosh, you have legs. So it's wonderful for everybody to be together. I wanted to take a moment to recognize our generous corporate sponsors, which should be on the slides up here. So we have our premier sponsors, Amazon, BECU, Overlake, Puget Sound Energy, and Symetra. So thank you all. In addition to our corporate sponsors, we are grateful for a special group of donors that were mentioned earlier, our lead donors. They've already pledged support today, and they've kicked things off with more than $140,000 coming into today. We hope that, yes. We hope that that'll inspire you and encourage you to follow suit. I would also like to recognize all of the Bellevue College Foundation board members. If all of you could take a moment and stand. These incredible community and civic leaders have been working tirelessly trying to figure out how to address the needs of our students in a virtual world. I would also like to extend a special welcome to our elected officials in the room. We have King County Council Chair Claudia Balducci, King County Judge Veronica Galvin, State Representative Amy Whalen, and State Rep Vandala Slatter. All right, and with that, I'll turn it back to Dennis.
Boy, it's early, but we're glad you can all be here. We'll soon hear the story of a remarkable BC student and from an incredible alumni who are working hard to achieve their dreams and are giving back to their communities. There are so many stories like theirs at BC, stories that are made possible thanks to your investment. Thank you so much again for being here today. Next, we're going to hear from Robert Nellums. Through his more than 3 decades in public service, Robert Nellums has built a sound reputation for excellence, effective decision-making, and resourceful change management. His experience and expertise are well-grounded in the areas of accounting, systems analysis, budgeting, human resources, customer service, organizational development, and community engagement. Robert, who has served as director of Seattle Center since his appointment in 2006, holds a firm grasp of both the business and bureaucracy of the city department he heads, focusing on building the capacity of Seattle Center to delight and inspire the human spirit in ways that build and strengthen communities. Robert is leading Seattle Center into a future that expands open space, engages diverse communities, fosters financial and environmental sustainability, and supports thriving resident partners. Robert is a member of the board of directors for the Northwest African American Museum and was recently elected chairman of the board of trustees for Central Washington University. He previously served as chair of the CWU Foundation Board. He is also a member of the Royal Esquire Club and the Breakfast Group. Unfortunately, Robert is unable to join us this morning. I know, sad. But I'd like you to direct your attention to a screen And we will now hear from Robert.
Hello, everyone. I'm Robert Nellums. It's my honor to be here today. It's my honor to speak to you. I'm sorry I have to do this online, but I'm in a COVID protocol to make sure that I'm safe and that you're safe. So hopefully we're all safe, and we'll enjoy the rest of this lovely day and breakfast at Bellevue. So I'm going to start. I am honored to have been chosen to speak to you today. I only wish that my great-grandmother could see me standing here. My great-grandmother, Zelia Harris, drilled the importance of education into me from the day I was born. She told me, an education is something no one can take away from you. She also told me this: there is no shame in being prepared for an opportunity that never comes, but there is tremendous shame for having an opportunity come and not being prepared for it. Education helps prepare you for the opportunities that come. My great-grandmother was just one member of the community I was blessed to grow up in. And as you prepare to help students grow, mature, and succeed, I hope you will take a moment to remember the community that helped you. I am a proud first-generation graduate from Bellevue College, meaning I experienced all the great, the good, the bad, and the pressure associated with growing up as the oldest child, grandchild, and great-grandchild, someone who had to go to college. My father died 13 days after my first birthday, leaving my mother as a single parent with 2 children. My sister was 2 months old. I don't remember my father, and since I was so young, I did not grow up consciously missing him either. However, I do remember every sacrifice, gift, opportunity, every moment of support and love that my mother gave me. She is and will always be my hero. She transformed her life from that of a military housewife to a worker bee, banking exec, business owner, community leader, and political operative. I watched and learned how she navigated the minefields of society as a Black woman, mother, and activist, and I marveled at how her capacity to do all these things and raise my sister and me. My mother gave me strength to survive and to thrive, teaching that became clearer later on in my life. Remember the family that got you here, whether through blood or the family you have created. I came to Bellevue College over 40 years ago as someone who was trying to get back on track. I came to go to school, to play basketball. And after messing up at University of Washington, where I simply never went to class, I came to try and live up to the great expectations my family had placed on me. Bellevue College was a savior for me. It brought me back to the smaller class setting that I had become familiar with at Franklin High School in Seattle. It gave me the 2 things I needed most at the time: an opportunity to get back on track in school and to play basketball. I had a great time playing basketball, but I also had a good time starting my journey to becoming an accounting graduate from Central Washington University. That journey began here at Bellevue College, where I struggled a bit initially, but never gave up on my dream to become a college graduate. I played basketball at BC because that is what gave me joy. And to my surprise, I started to experience joy in the classroom here also. I knew I could do anything I put my mind to, but what I did not understand until I came to Bellevue College was that people who did not know me would care. My coach, Ernie Woods, cared about my education, and not just because I played basketball, but he cared about my future. We are still good friends. It took me a few years to really appreciate the professors who I have trouble remembering, who tried to help, or the advisors who tried to inspire, and the coaches who tried to motivate me to be all that I wanted to be. I am so grateful for the opportunity they gave me, the support they provided me, and the expectations they helped me establish. My education at Bellevue College is part of the foundation of who I am today. My education at Bellevue College and Central Washington University are the pieces tied together of my growing up and becoming an adult. I learned so many things about myself on this journey. I learned that I could succeed on my own terms, and those terms were more important than almost anything on this journey. I learned I could do well when I focused about on what I wanted to do and erased all the naysayers and negative voices around me. I learned that although I was working on my own future, I was living through the past lens of my mother, grandmother, and great grandmother, and any success that I have is a tribute to them. I learned the difference between acquaintances and true friends. And my best friend to this day is someone named Buddy Miles, someone I met at Bellevue College. I learned that although I could play basketball well, it was a guiding path to a better future for me, but not something I should count on or rely upon. I learned how thinking as a grounded, smart, and responsible person could really impact others. I learned to believe in myself, my family, and friends, and that could carry me a long way. I learned how to carry myself and to fight for what I believed in. I learned to simply become myself, 100% unashamedly me. Bellevue College was the beginning of this journey for me, and I am beholden to the professors, advisors, friends, and coaches who saw things in me before I saw them in myself. I am forever grateful for the journey I began at Bellevue College, and I appreciate more than they will ever know the folks who helped and believed in me. As I look back on my career, where I started working for the city of Seattle in October 1982 as an accountant, it is in all, I have spent 40 years of my life working at the city of Seattle, the past 16 years as the director of Seattle Center. My journey at Bellevue College helped give me the strength to realize what I wanted to do. And let me tell you a little story about my professional journey. I spent the first 14 years of my career working in finance at the city of Seattle. And although I got several promotions and opportunities for advancement, I realized early on that I did not really want to become an accountant or finance person. I found out for sure when, after studying for almost a year, I took and passed the CPA exam and then refused to complete the paperwork to get my certificate. My wife thought I had lost my mind. But I knew if I became a CPA, I would have been that for the rest of my life. And somewhere deep inside of me, I believed there was a different path for me. A couple of lessons learned starting back at Bellevue College were that are you going to be curves in that there are going to be curves in the road of your life. So be willing to listen to yourself and to change course if you're not happy or satisfied with what you're doing. I had grown into someone who understood what they wanted and did not want, and I was ready to go after it. The last 26 years of my career, I've been working at Seattle Center. First as the director of patron services, then as the deputy director, and the last 16 years as the director. I won't bore you with the non-COVID facts and figures about Seattle Center, like 12 million annual visitors, $1.9 billion in annual economic impact, 16,000 annual events, 7,500 jobs, and over 30 resident organizations. However, I will tell you that working at a place whose purpose is to inspire the human spirit and build community has been the happiest and most fulfilling years of my work life. Now, before I let you tell me let me tell you one last thing about Bellevue College. Bellevue College gave me the love of my life. I met my wife on a blind date while she was working at Bellevue College. Her assistant, Cheryl, was a friend of mine and had tried to get us to meet each other for a couple of years. We both thought that we were like the only two Black people she knew, so we did not take her seriously. But in 1986, we decided to meet on October 10th, and we fell in love. We got married on October 10th, 1987. 10-10, because you can't take the accountant out of me. We have been together ever since, and she is the rock that grounds me and helps me be myself in too many ways to mention. She is the love of my life, and I am most grateful to Bellevue College for bringing her to me. In closing, I would like to share my favorite quote with you. The quote is from Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Bellevue College made me feel like I mattered, knew who I was, and had something I could give to others. So with your support of Bellevue College, it can make you feel like you're helping people like me realize their goals and make a difference in our community. Thank you. Peace.
And thank you so much, Robert. What a great speech. Lots of good lessons for all of us, and really inspiring to see how Bellevue College has so impacted his life. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our 2022 student speaker, Rayana Lyons. Rayana is a current student at Bellevue College. She is pursuing an Associate in Arts and Sciences transfer degree with a focus in computer science. Her plan is to transfer to a four-year university and major in computer science. Rayana moved from New Jersey to Washington and ended up at Bellevue College, where only good has come her way. She has kept excellent grades in her studies and has also joined many clubs such as the Anime Club, Japanese Culture Exchange Club, and Technology Club, and became a resident assistant for housing. After graduating with a four-year degree, Rayana would like to do software development. Take it away, Rayana.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rayana Lyons, and I am a sophomore here at Bellevue College. I once believed I was a worthless failure. Anytime I tried to explain my feelings to others, they were dismissed. I was told I should not feel that way because I have a good life and others have it worse. Therefore, I hid my own feelings for a long time. My world had stopped, but the real world kept going. Each year, I watched my grades fall and pieces of myself disappear. I could only think about all my failures and how I should not be here. I got to my lowest point where I lost all my pieces, and before I knew it, I had taken over 7 pills. It caused me to be hospitalized, where I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. I received treatment, and after some time, I finally got a piece of myself back, which started my change. The will to keep moving forward was something that I once struggled with. However, determination ended up becoming my greatest strength. I remember when I walked into an advisor's office, and I told them I wanted to major in computer science. Art is my way of relaxing and expressing myself. I also have a love for technology. If I am not doing something creative, I am on the computer. When I merged my two interests, I discovered the world of computer science, where creativity and technology are combined. However, the advisor was very persistent in having me major in information technology. They believed that computer science would be too hard for me to pursue. This experience has haunted me because I am a Black woman pursuing a major while I am not well represented. I wondered if me being a part of a minority group was the reason why I was seen as a person that should not major in computer science. People are always very quick to tell me something is too hard for me to do, but I refuse to let another person influence me to give up my passions. Rather than telling myself that I was a failure, I chose to see the positive of the situation. I did not want to give up my dreams, and therefore I transferred to Bellevue College. Bellevue College would put me in a position to take the next step. It was an opportunity for me to start over. I will not be able to change my past, but I can work towards a better future. The BC Foundation Scholarship provided me with the support that I needed to continue my education at Bellevue College. It helped me begin my process for the change that I advocate for. I want to thank the foundation for the support that they have given to me and the continued support that they have given to others. The foundation is supporting those that will shape the future. My biggest desire is to help others. I have seen that not everyone has the support to do things that make themselves happy. I was once a person without support, and I ended up having to support myself. Once I found some success, others began to support me. But it should not have to be this way. I want to study computer science because I will learn how to create things and use the knowledge that I gain to support others. I am very open to the endless possibilities with what I can do with computer science. I want to gain experience working in the field and helping to create a better future. I also want to contribute to increasing diversity in the computer science field. Positive minority representation within the computer science field is still needed. I want to help others learn that computer science is fun and they are capable no matter what they look like. I will be graduating from Bellevue College this year. Bellevue College has prepared me to transfer and take the next step. With my increase in positivity, I have found an increase in determination and motivation. Depression is a never-ending battle for me, but I know if I take the necessary steps, I can strengthen all my pieces. Thank you to Bellevue College for being a place where I could start over. Thank you to the foundation and the donors who have made my scholarship possible.
Thank you, Rihanna, for sharing your story with us. And I also want to acknowledge you clearly had the microphone figured out better than I do because you didn't keep moving back and forth like I keep feeling like I have to do. So great job up here. Many of you have not been able to hear from Interim President Locke since he has taken his role here at Bellevue College. We are excited to change that today. Not only will you be able to hear from Interim President Locke, but also there will be the opportunity to take photos with both he and our BC mascot, Brutus. You didn't know about this? I didn't write the script. This will be done at the conclusion of the event through the north doors of this room, unless he escapes before we're able to take the pictures. But right now, I have the honor of introducing Interim President Gary Locke.
That's fine. Wow, so you find out what you're supposed to be doing at these breakfasts, right? Good morning, everyone, and it's really a pleasure to be here in person with all of you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming on a beautiful, beautiful day. And I want to thank the foundation for hosting the breakfast in support of Bellevue College, and we've heard testimonials from Robert Nellums and Rihanna, and it really shows what your support of the foundation does and what the foundation in turn does for our students, whether supporting athletics, which gives people joy while they're here, or emotional support, financial support so they can pursue their dreams. And Rihanna, I just want to let you know, we do have a fantastic 4-year degree computer science program. You don't have to transfer. You don't have to transfer. In fact, our computer science program was established with the help of University of Washington, which is always turning away students from their computer science program. So you would not be settling. You would not be settling if you stayed here. Also want to thank our foundation, our College Board of Trustees, Richard Lay, Greg Dietzel, and Richard Fukutake. You know, this is our first major in-person event since the start of the pandemic, and I can't imagine a better way to kick off our gradual and safe return to campus. And finally, we get to use this wonderful, wonderful new Student Success Center, and this hall is available for rental for community organizations, and again, trying to support the finances of the college. And this is the largest gathering, by the way, we've had on campus during my almost 2 years as interim president. I'm so privileged and so proud to witness how our campus and community partners like you have come together in these challenging times to maintain and deepen our shared commitment to our students. And I want you to know that our faculty and staff have gone above and beyond again in the pivot to remote learning so that students could stay on track for their academic and career goals. They found innovative ways to provide the same level of quality instruction and support services to students who are often juggling work, family obligations, and even managing the at-home education of their own children during the pandemic, which interfered or reduced the time they had available for their own studies. And when the stay-at-home lockdown began, many of our students lacked access to technology. But our staff, faculty, the foundation, even student government stepped up and raised funds so that students would have access to the computers and the hotspots they needed to continue their education remotely. We used federal funds to address our students' emerging needs in housing and food to make up for the lost household income. And our staff and faculty got creative and became actually very, very professional at logistics. For example, our art department figured out how to get supplies to students in ceramic courses, teach them to create their works at home, and get those works back to campus where they were then fired up in our kilns. And throughout the pandemic, our student groups, faculty, and staff figured out how to create virtual campus activities to ensure that our students could engage in the important social aspects of campus life. There were virtual dance parties, fashion shows, cultural lunches, speaker series, drama performances, 2 homecomings, and even 2 commencements. While the method of delivering instruction and support changed, our commitment to increasing student success and equity remained constant. And through it all, whether the work was visible or behind the scenes, we managed to keep our students' needs front and center. As a result, BC awarded 2,778 bachelor's and associate degrees, certificates, and diplomas during our virtual commencement ceremony last year. But we can also celebrate a recent report from Georgetown University's Center on Education and the Workforce that found that among all U.S. colleges granting 4-year degrees, and remember, BC does offer 4-year degrees now, Bellevue College is 25th in the nation for 10-year return on investment. That's ahead of Yale University, my alma mater, which is 34th, and we're just behind Harvard University at 17th. Yale, you better do better than Harvard. All right. But it's a really nice confirmation of what everyone in this room knows. The degrees that students earn at BC are paths toward a better future. You know, with so much ambiguity and uncertainty these past 2 years, a natural response has been to hunker down and just try to get through it. Wait until the storm passes, then get back to normal. But the reality is that not only is this the new normal, but the simultaneous challenges of climate change, systemic racism, attempts to disrupt and even dismantle democratic institutions at home and around the world are all creating a state of continuing uncertainty. And despite the ambiguity and uncertainty, we at Bellevue College can't be afraid to re-envision or reassess how we increase student success and meet the needs of our students, faculty, staff, and the broader Bellevue community. When it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion, these values must be more than just aspirational. Bellevue College must act, and we are. You know, our faculty did a Herculean job of pivoting to online instruction, and online learning will be more of the new normal. So we're working with our e-learning department and the faculty union on an initiative to ensure that all online courses meet nationally recognized standards for quality and are engaging to our students. COVID certainly exposed the shortcomings of our public health and our healthcare system, and prompted by a parking lot conversation I had with State Representative Slatter, she and others in Olympia convened a series of meetings with healthcare stakeholders from across the state to address the nursing shortage in our state, as well as the ridiculously and contradictory low limits imposed by the state on how many students can be admitted each year to nursing schools. And so nursing schools all across the state have been turning away applicants even though we have a nursing shortage. Well, the legislature is changing all that, and Bellevue College is poised to significantly increase our nursing program beginning next academic year. I want to thank Representative Slatter and all of our legislators here. Finally, the growth in our bachelor's programs has helped prevent at Bellevue College the severe enrollment declines all the other community technical colleges in the region have suffered. And so we're pleased to announce that we are finalizing an agreement with the University of Washington Bothell to offer their evening MBA and some undergraduate degree programs here on this campus beginning this coming fall. Bringing new students to our campus and enabling our students to seamlessly enroll into their programs. Just as we offer college courses to high school students via Running Start, and many of our students transfer to four-year institutions, the partnership with UW Bothell will enable our students to pursue more undergraduate and, for the first time, graduate degrees here at Bellevue College. Like I said, we just can't wait out this time of uncertainty and ambiguity, nor can we rest on our laurels. While we were able to mitigate the technological impact of the pandemic, the accumulation of stress and continuing uncertainty is taking a toll on our students' mental well-being. Compounding that, inflation is rising quickly and significantly, which has a real financial impact on students' ability to cover food, housing, and transportation. That's why your support is so critical and has never been more important. Not only does it provide real resources so our students can achieve their dreams, but it lets them know that the entire community is cheering them on. So it's heartening, incredibly heartening, to see so many of you together in one room in support of our students. Thank you. And I know that everyone at the college, we value and appreciate your continued dedication. We've already come through so much together successfully, and we know that whatever challenges the future brings, we'll be able to navigate them also successfully, but also together. Thank you very much.
We're gonna have to find the sweet spot here for you and I.
Or maybe we could use both.
Oh, okay. Technology, all right. Well, thank you, Interim President Locke. Thank you again, Rayana and Robert, for sharing your stories. These are just two of the remarkable stories that have been shaped at Bellevue College and Bellevue Community College. Over the past 55 years, BC and BCC have served more than 500,000 students who each have their own individual story.
Well, they give us these lovely scripts, and we're supposed to read them, and I failed. I am so sorry, Bellevue Mayor Lynn Robinson. My excuse is your back is to me, so I didn't see you. So, Mayor Lynn Robinson, everyone. So the impact of Bellevue College has had on our community is significant. And all of you have played an important role in shaping the stories that we have heard today and the many other stories that are out there but have not been heard. Next week, we will notify 203 students that they have been awarded a scholarship from the Bellevue College Foundation. Thanks to donors like you, those students will receive part of a scholarship pool of $507,000. So thank you all. We're happy to help these students like Rihanna, and even back in Robert's day. I'm sad Robert and Jane can't be here today, and I would be remiss if he did not say, you know, he's really excited about this bulldog out there, but he was a helmsman. Sounds like there's a few other helmsmen out there. Your support today will help fund scholarships, grants, programmatic support, and emergency aid for students, staff, and faculty. The foundation is committed to supporting our students and helping keep the high-quality education that they can receive at Bellevue College accessible.
As you've already heard, there are a number of lead donors in the room who have already made their gifts. Lead donors, would you please stand up to be recognized once more? Look around the room. Each of you are an inspiration. Thank you. We hope that everyone in this room will consider making a gift today and grow our resources to ensure that students at BC are prepared for success. Let's see what we can do to change more lives and even make a bigger impact. We're looking for more donors at the $1,000 level. If we get 20 more of you to join at this level, we can support 15 to 20 scholarships. We know some of you can and have made gifts at the $2,500, $5,000, and even $10,000 level. Anyone? Thank you, $2,500. Thank you very much. Okay, $5,000. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Anybody else?
Well, and I'd also like to acknowledge, even though I'm going to put him on the spot, we're already putting him on the spot about photos, but I want to thank President Gary Locke for his contribution of $25,000. So if there's anyone who would like to join him, please raise your hand. All right. So who out there would be willing to commit to $1,000? And remember, you can give by either filling out the form or scanning the QR code. We've got fantastic, wonderful. Thank you, Ross. Thank you, CJ. Thank you. Thank you, Chuck. It's very nice. Glad to have you with us. All right, fantastic. Now, we also have $500 level, you know. I mean, we could just keep going. I could keep asking. You know, it's all for the students. I'm not afraid to say, let's stand up and do this. All right, well, look at your card, fill them out, scan the QR code. We'd love to see more support. The $250 level is our suggested donation, so we hope you could all join at that level. And I want to acknowledge, you see a whole bunch of people standing out in the entryway, which I hope we've got them breakfast at some point. But many of those are volunteers. We have a lot of supporters. A lot of our volunteers are from the BC baseball team. So you guys over there, you know, come wave. All of this is in support of students like those. So thank you again. And we want to make sure that we remind people that they can get a photo with President Gary Locke. And, of course, our mascot, Brutus.
And boss, you can take off your mask for the photos. All right, so let's remember, you can scan to give, or you can fill out the forms on your table. So Bellevue College, we all know it's essential to the vibrancy of our community. Your investment today sends a strong message to our students. Through your gift, you show these students that you care about their aspirations and that you have confidence in their ability to succeed. We hope you will open your hearts and wallets wide and make your educational dreams a reality for future leaders. As you're making your gifts through the donation form or by scanning the QR code, all of which can easily be divided into monthly, quarterly, or semi-annual payments, we want to just say that BC has been building our community one student at a time for more than 50 years, and it all starts with donors like you. Your generosity today is the first step in our collective work for 50 more years. Thank you for making everything we do possible.
And I would like to also thank Dennis Curran for stepping in. Dr. Greer was sad she couldn't be with us today, but she's under the weather, and given the current circumstances, felt an ounce of prevention is better for all of us. So thank you, Dennis, for the early morning.
My pleasure.
All right, I think we've got another video.
When I got the scholarship, it made me understood my worth and my potential, that like I can do what I want to, and I can achieve if I want to. I moved from Bangladesh in 2020, and I started at BC in spring. So I'm pursuing computer and electrical engineering. I want to build nano devices, but also want to work in the security, I want to work with the cyber security, so I can make nano chips and then do cryptography. So that's why I want to work with both computer and electrical engineering. The teachers, the professors, they are so nice, they are so better. They break down every lesson and they make sure that you are learning that. They spend extra time here, they help you out in every way possible, which I never got back home. My parents didn't have a job for the first 6 months, so I had to work and also do a full-time college, which was pretty hard. But then with all the resources that Bellevue College had, helped me not to drop out. I could concentrate in my studies and also work, but not that much. The scholarship helped me with my tuition, and also it helped me to build my confidence because it helped me to understand my worth. It has encouraged me to work more and then put more effort in whatever I am doing. It has assured me that I can achieve if I want something. First of all, thank you so much for helping out the students like me who struggle, who have come a long way, and from the small backgrounds, they get to dream big, and then they get to materialize their dreams. Thank you so much, and keep doing the good works. We appreciate you.
Let's hear it for the wonderful speakers that we've had this morning. My name is Lisa Brock, and I am the president of the Bellevue College Foundation. This is a very weird feedback. So I really want to thank each and every one of you for being here this morning. We appreciate you being with us in person at this beautiful venue. I want to thank my fellow board members and the event committee for putting on this fabulous event this morning. I hope you've been inspired this morning and learned something about Bellevue College. I know I'm inspired by the stories I heard. One final reminder, there's that great photo opportunity with Indram Locke and Brutus on the right outside the door. And once again, thank you for attending, and we appreciate each and every one of you being here this morning. Have a great day.